CompTIA A Certification Exam Preparation. Question 1. A company must prevent employees from emailing customer records to personal accounts. Which choice is most appropriate for this situation? Option A. Multi-factor authentication. Option B. Guest network isolation. Option C. Data loss prevention. Option D. Host-based firewall. The correct answer is option C. Data loss prevention. The described need is met by a control that identifies and restricts unauthorized movement of sensitive information. It applies content-aware policies to data in use, motion, or storage. A test message containing protected information is blocked or routed for review. Question 2. A help desk analyst is evaluating the reason for a recommended choice. Which statement most accurately describes the advantage of Registry Editor? Option A. It supports restartable copying, logging, mirroring, and detailed selection controls. Option B. It lets the technician prepare unallocated storage for operating-system use. Option C. It provides direct access to registry keys and values when an authorized change is necessary. Option D. It reveals active transport-layer activity without requiring a graphical tool. The correct answer is option C. It provides direct access to registry keys and values when an authorized change is necessary. In this context, Registry Editor views and modifies the hierarchical Windows configuration database. Editing the registry without a verified procedure can create serious system problems. The application reads the updated value after the change and required restart. Question 3. An office user wants to connect a laptop to 2 monitors, Ethernet, a keyboard, and charging with minimal cable changes. Which choice provides the required capability? Option A. Webcam privacy shutter. Option B. Bluetooth. Option C. Digitizer. Option D. Docking station. The correct answer is option D. Docking station. The described need is met by an accessory that expands a mobile computer with multiple ports, displays, networking, and power through one connection. It centralizes desktop peripherals and often supplies power through a single interface. All attached peripherals become available when the laptop is connected to the dock. Stressed about your CompTIA exam? We can take CompTIA exam for you remotely and undetected. We always guarantee a pass and payments only after results. To send us an email, scan the code or tap the link in the description and let's get it done. Question 4. A cleaning chemical spills in the repair area and staff need verified response guidance. Which resource should be used next? Option A. The knowledge base. Option B. Safety data sheet. Option C. Anti-static wrist strap. Option D. Change request. The correct answer is option B. Safety data sheet. The problem is addressed by a resource that documents chemical hazards, handling, storage, protective equipment, and emergency measures. It supplies manufacturer and regulatory safety information before cleanup begins. The team follows the documented protective and disposal requirements for the specific substance. Question 5. Which outcome provides the clearest evidence that PCI Express slot is operating correctly? Option A. The firmware reports the installed capacity and rated memory generation after startup. Option B. The firmware and operating system detect the card after it is seated in a compatible slot. Option C. The monitor receives the selected resolution and additional chain display appears when supported. Option D. The encryption system reports that hardware-backed key protection is active. The correct answer is option B. The firmware and operating system detect the card after it is seated in a compatible slot. The selected interface connects high-bandwidth expansion cards directly to the motherboard. It supplies scalable lanes for devices such as GPUs, network adapters, and storage controllers. A memory slot is designed for RAM modules and cannot accept a standard expansion card. Question 6. Which outcome provides the clearest evidence that use cultural sensitivity is operating correctly? Option A. The user confirms that the technician's summary accurately reflects the problem and impact. Option B. The user gives a clear answer that confirms or eliminates the proposed timeline. Option C. Another technician can understand the fix and reproduce the approved solution from the ticket. Option D. The technician confirms preferences and the user understands the agreed troubleshooting steps. The correct answer is option D. The technician confirms preferences and the user understands the agreed troubleshooting steps. The selected practice communicates respectfully without assumptions about language, background, or ability. Respectful adaptation improves cooperation and reduces misunderstanding. Mocking an accent or assuming incompetence is unprofessional and harmful. Question 7. A company laptop stores sensitive files and has a compatible TPM. Which choice provides the required capability? Option A, a BitLocker. Option B, a data loss prevention. Option C, user account control. Option D, multi-factor authentication. The correct answer is option A, BitLocker. The described need is met by a control that encrypts Windows volumes to protect data when a device is lost or its drive is removed. It provides full volume protection that can integrate with hardware backed key storage. The drive contents remain unreadable from another computer without the recovery material. Question 8. A small business once hosted email and productivity tools without installing or maintaining application servers. Which service model most directly meets the stated need? Option A, measured service. Option B, software as a service. Option C, private cloud. Option D, public cloud. The correct answer is option B, software as a service. The stated requirement depends on a service model that delivers a complete application through a browser or client subscription. It gives users access to provider-managed software with minimal local administration. Employees sign in and use the application while updates are handled by the provider. Are you looking for CompTIA A exam actual questions? Visit our website pokerexams.com to access CompTIA A exam study guide with actual questions and answers. Scan the QR code or click the link in the description to get CompTIA A exam answer key today. Question 9. Which practice most directly communicates respectfully without assumptions about language, background, or ability? Option A, respect scope boundaries. Option B, escalate professionally. Option C, protect conversational privacy. Option D, use cultural sensitivity. The correct answer is option D, use cultural sensitivity. A suitable practice must be able to perform the stated function because it communicates respectfully without assumptions about language, background, or ability. Respectful adaptation improves cooperation and reduces misunderstanding. Mocking an accent or assuming incompetence is unprofessional and harmful. Question 10. A company needs to activate cellular service on managed tablets without distributing plastic carrier cards. Which choice is most appropriate for this situation? Option A, docking station. Option B, DC power jack. Option C, eSIM. Option D, Bluetooth. The correct answer is option C, eSIM. The described need is met by a technology that stores subscriber identity information electronically instead of requiring a removable physical card. It allows compatible devices to download and switch approved carrier profiles digitally. The tablet registers on the selected cellular network after the profile is provisioned. Question 11. A technician must connect a private office subnet to an internet service provider network. Which device is the best fit? Option A, a router. Option B, a tone generator and probe. Option C, HTTPS. Option D, SMB. The correct answer is option A, router. The problem is addressed by a device that forwards packets between different IP networks and often serves as a local internet gateway. It selects paths between networks and can apply services such as NAT and basic filtering. Local hosts reach remote networks through the configured interfaces and routes. Question 12. A technician has configured ping the default gateway. Which outcome demonstrates success? Option A, replies arrive from the gateway while external testing can continue separately. Option B, the computer completes post with basic hardware and fails again only when the problematic component is reintroduced. Option C, link indicators return and normal traffic resumes with the verified cable. Option D, the laptop begins receiving stable power with the verified supply or the test rules it out. The correct answer is option A. Replies arrive from the gateway while external testing can continue separately. Using ping the default gateway is appropriate because it tests local subnet communication with the router used for remote networks. It verifies the path through the adapter, local cable or Wi-Fi link, and LAN to the configured gateway. Pinging the loopback address verifies only the local software stack. Question 13. A newly upgraded workstation sends garbled output while the same printer works from other computers. Which procedure should the technician select? Option A, update the application. Option B, reinstall the printer driver. Option C, clear the browser cache. Option D, roll back the device driver. The correct answer is option B, reinstall the printer driver. The stated requirement depends on a procedure that replaces damaged or incompatible software that translates print jobs for a device. A compatible driver restores correct communication and page-description handling. The workstation produces a normal test page after the approved driver is installed. Question 14. Which observation validates the successful use of update the application? Option A. The instability stops after rollback and the affected version no longer appears as installed. Option B. The updated content appears after cached files are removed and the page is reloaded. Option C. The application reports the new version and completes the task that previously failed. Option D. The frozen process closes and other applications continue operating. The correct answer is option C. The application reports the new version and completes the task that previously failed. The intended role of update the application is that it installs vendor fixes for known defects and compatibility problems. A current build may contain corrections required for the newer environment. Changing the Y-5 password does not repair local application compatibility. Question 15. A workstation has a stable link but extremely slow transfers and many interface errors after one side was manually configured. Which choice is most appropriate for this situation? Option A. Match speed in duplex settings. Option B. Verify the front-panel power connector. Option C. Change the wireless channel. Option D. Renew the DHCP lease. The correct answer is option A. Match speed in duplex settings. The described need is met by a procedure that prevents performance problems caused by incompatible Ethernet negotiation or forced values. Consistent settings reduce collisions, retransmissions, and negotiation conflicts. Error counters stop increasing and throughput returns to expected levels after both ends agree. Question 16. Which observation validates the successful use of anti-static wrist strap? Option A. A continuity test confirms the strap is connected through its safety resistor to the approved ground point. Option B. The inventory contains the planned daily, weekly, and monthly generations according to policy. Option C. The team returns the service to its known -good version within the planned window during a test. Option D is scanning the identifier opens the correct asset record in the management system. The correct answer is option A. A continuity test confirms the strap is connected through its safety resistor to the approved ground point. The intended role of anti-static wrist strap is that it equalizes electrical potential between a technician and grounded work area during component handling. It reduces the chance that static discharge will damage sensitive electronics. Attaching the strap to a live electrical conductor would be unsafe and incorrect. Question 17. The proposed solution is being reviewed before implementation. Which property makes software as a service suitable for the requirement? Option A. It allows workloads and data to use different environments according to policy, cost, and scale. Option B. It gives users access to provider-managed software with minimal local administration. Option C. It provides on-demand capacity and broad access using a shared provider environment. Option D. It lets developers focus on applications while the provider manages more of the platform stack. The correct answer is option B. It gives users access to provider-managed software with minimal local administration. The important capability of software as a service is that it delivers a complete application through a browser or client subscription. Platform as a service is intended for deploying custom applications rather than consuming a finished product. Employees sign in and use the application while updates are handled by the provider. Question 18. A user receives a text claiming that a package is delayed and requesting account credentials through a shortened link. Which choice is most appropriate for this situation? Option A. Worm. Option B. Shoulder surfing. Option C. Vishing. Option D. Sneezing. The correct answer is option D. Sneezing. The described need is met by a threat that delivers phishing content through SMS or similar text messages. It applies social engineering tactics through mobile messaging. The sender and link fail verification and the message is reported as malicious. Stressed about your CompTIA A exam? We can take CompTIA A exam for you remotely and undetected. We always guarantee a pass and payments only after results. To send us an email, scan the code or tap the link in the description and let's get it done. Question 19. Which utility would be used because it starts, stops, configures, and reviews background Windows services? Option A. Local Group Policy Editor. Option B. Disk Utility. Option C. Services Console. Option D. Registry Editor. The correct answer is option C. Services Console. This utility starts, stops, configures, and reviews background Windows services. It provides control over service state and startup type. Disk cleanup removes unnecessary files and cannot manage background service state. Question 20. Which result would verify that update the network adapter driver is functioning as required? Option A. The port and adapter LEDs show the expected link and activity state after the physical connection is corrected. Option B. A subsequent test pattern shows continuous lines and all expected colors. Option C. New test pages leave the queue and print in the expected order. Option D. The adapter remains connected after the updated driver is installed and the system is restarted. The correct answer is option D. The adapter remains connected after the updated driver is installed and the system is restarted. The intended role of update the network adapter driver is that it corrects compatibility or stability problems caused by faulty interface software. A current vendor-approved driver can restore proper communication between the operating system and device. Replacing the router is not justified when only one recently upgraded computer is affected. Question 21. Two devices have addresses that appear similar, and a technician must determine whether they are in the same local network. Which setting most directly meets the stated need? Option A. Subnet mask. Option B. The DHCP reservation. Option C. Port forwarding. Option D. Default gateway. The correct answer is option A. Subnet mask. The stated requirement depends on a setting that defines which portion of an IPv4 address represents the network and which portion represents the host. It lets a host decide whether to communicate directly or forward traffic to a router. The calculated network identifiers correctly show whether the two addresses share a subnet. Question 22. A workstation is being designed for a compute-intensive application that depends heavily on instruction throughput. Which component should the technician select? Option A. SATA SSD. Option B. Heat sink. Option C. Central processing unit. Option D. Network interface card. The correct answer is option C. Central processing unit. The stated requirement depends on a component that executes program instructions and performs general-purpose calculations. Its core count, architecture, frequency, and cache influence overall processing performance. The application completes processor-bound workloads faster after a compatible upgrade. Question 23. Which option identifies the command that refreshes Windows group policy settings without waiting for the normal update interval? Option A. chkdsk. Option B. grep. Option C. dism. Option D. bupdate. The correct answer is option D. bupdate. The defining function is that the command refreshes Windows group policy settings without waiting for the normal update interval. It requests an immediate computer and user policy refresh. IP protocol configuration updates network addressing and does not refresh policy objects. Question 24. A technician is comparing several technically plausible alternatives. Which reason best supports the technician choice of laser printer imaging drum? Option A. It provides the standard physical connection used by many copper Ethernet interfaces. Option B. It forms the temporary image used to place toner in the correct pattern. Option C. It reduces the likelihood that a brief electrical surge damages attached electronics. Option D. It completes the final bonding stage of the electrophotographic process. The correct answer is option B. It forms the temporary image used to place toner in the correct pattern. Laser printer imaging drum holds the electrostatic image that attracts toner before transfer to paper. The fuser bonds toner after transfer and is not responsible for creating the repeated image pattern. The repeating marks disappear after the worn image surface is replaced. Question 25. A technician has configured NAT. Which outcome demonstrates success? Option A. Wireless clients associate and receive normal network access through the wired infrastructure. Option B. Outbound sessions from different private hosts appear through the router public address. Option C. The access point powers on and establishes Ethernet connectivity from the single cable. Option D. A test message leaves the outbox after the correct server and authentication settings are configured. The correct answer is option B. Outbound sessions from different private hosts appear through the router public address. Using NAT is appropriate because it rewrites address information so multiple private hosts can share public network connectivity. It conserves public addresses and hides internal addressing from direct external use. A switch forwards local frames and does not translate private addresses for internet access.